Hi, I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story, and today we're in the western suburbs of Chicago, and I'm with Art Lostumo. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you got it right.
Art has a great car. Art, what kind of car did you bring here today?
I brought here my pride and joy, which happens to be my 54 Buick Skylark.
And your 54 Buick Skylark. Now, how long have you had this one?
I've had it since 2001.
And the Skylark?
So 17 years.
17 years. And your dad helped you put this car together.
We both went ahead, we tore the car apart and put it back together in a year and a half.
And let me just take this to show people what the original car came like. So the original car came looking like that.
That's day of delivery.
Day of delivery. And it looked good. You said you called it a 20-footer.
Yes.
Because it
the paint was sitting in areas and everything, and it was the wrong hue of green, actually. And you could see that it was more blue than green.
And now it looks like this. Let's move back just a step.
And there's two mixes for Lido green. One actually has more yellow in it, which is the one that I used, and the other one had a little bit more of a less yellow and made it more blue.
Now, did it come with all of the chrome? I mean, this looks
It
really...
came with all the chrome. In fact, the guy actually had all the chrome re-chromed, but I was going ahead and re-chroming the headlight doors and everything. He just re-chromed the bumpers. So I went ahead, I pulled everything off.
Let me show that from there.
I went ahead, I pulled everything off, and I had everything re-chromed, even though it was just chrome, so everything would match.
Wow, that looks great, doesn't it? Let's show this car from the side. Let's step back for a moment.
And the distinctive features about this car in 54 was it didn't have any portholes in it, in the side fenders. The other distinctive feature are the rear wheel, are the cutouts by the wheels. They exaggerated the cutouts in the rear wheels or in the rear in the fenders.
So here, and usually in 53 this is red.
Usually they're either red, yellow, or black, going by the Skylark Club, the 53-54 Skylark Club. Now, and I've ran into one guy who said that all the ones that his father sold in 53 had red wheel wells, no matter what color that was.
Now, are these rims standard on this car? Or
yes, they were.
Really, with the
wires? They were standard, but the first original ones actually had steel wheels with the full wheel covers. And there was only a few of those that were like that.
So this is an optional wheel?
No, it would be optional on others like the Roadmaster.
But not on the Skylark.
But not on Skylark. Everything that was an option on other cars was basically standard on this car.
So the Skylark's top of the line?
Yes, it was about the Roadmaster.
And how many of these Skylarks did they originally?
836.
I'm sorry, how many?
836 of them were built.
There were only 836.
Yes.
How many do you think have survived?
A little over 430. In different states of disrepair. Some are undocumented and some are documented. I have a list of the registry, and the guy that does the registry tracks down all these body numbers, whether they're missing or not, and he goes ahead and can put together whether it's a documented car like mine is, or if it's an undocumented car, because we don't know where the car is or who owns it, but we know that the body number is out there still.
Single exhaust.
Yes.
And here's our taillights and our reverse lights, backup lights. Let me just show them this side too. Although we featured the other side. Just want to let people take that in. Let's take a look in the trunk, where we have what I call trunk and treat. So let's just start off with what we have here. We've got a book called Cars of the 50s, and if we open it up, while you're opening that up, I'll go over here. We've got the Buick Product Service Bulletin, and look at the
January 4th of 54.
Right there. Where did you find this?
I
Did this come with the car, or?
No, I actually bought a stack of bulletins at a swap meet that I ended up putting them into this binder.
And they considered the Model 100, the Skylark, that was the top of the line. And here's that book that we showed. There's your actual car.
Yeah, I actually have a 2-foot by 3-foot photo in my basement. And when I saw this picture in that book, I nearly fainted because I know that picture so well. It's like, and I seen the license plate. It's like, oh my God.
That's the one. Let me. I'm going to gently put that there. And this book, we could go deeper into this one, which I'll take a little time with. This book has, you know,
all everything.
Everything. This is the piece by piece of this car.
Right. Back then, they didn't do recalls. They did what they called campaigns. And what they would do is that they would send out, just like you had over there where they were showing the clamps and everything. Sometimes the car might get put together. Someone might do something a little wrong. And it will show that, hey, after this body number, you know, you got to check for these, got to check for this here, you know, up to this other body number.
And here's the Frank Lynch Buick book that came with the car.
That actually was given to me by another guy.
Okay.
This car actually came from, was actually bought in Pennsylvania. I bought it from Maryland, from the third owner. I'm the fourth owner of this car. And a funny story about that was that the guy brought two cars to a show. It was a 55, what was it? 55 Nomad Pro Street, and this car. And they came up to him, and a magazine came up to him and said, "We want to go ahead and do an article on your car." And he thought right away he was thinking about the Chevy, and they said, "No, we want to do the Buick." He hardly touched it, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why he sold it.
Wow. Buick's $1 Million Ride.
Yes, that's the suspension and everything, and they talk about how the suspension is.
And here's the reasons that people can pause on for the $1 Million Ride. Art, this is pretty cool. How to operate your convertible top.
That's a good segue right there. And this is the twin turbine Dynaflow. And it just goes ahead and talks about the features and all the improvements they made from 53 to 54.
And is this, oh, from 53 to 54, okay, got it.
And they made more improvements in 55.
So it's in the actual braking? Is that what it is?
No, this is your torque converter right here.
Oh, your torque converter, got it.
All right, this is your stator. This is a second turbine. Okay, you have the first turbine, which is back here, which is also your pump. Okay. Mm-hmm. Your stator is back here, inside, in between the first turbine. Okay, it's on the shaft. And Buick was the first ones to come out with a torque converter, even though that in '48, I think it was Oldsmobile and Cadillac came out with the automatic transmission with the hydromatic, but they all had fluid couplings.
Okay.
The difference between a fluid coupling and a torque converter is that the torque converter actually creates a vortex inside with the oil, instead of having straight fins going from the center out, where the fluid could get sloshed around if it's going too fast, could foam up.
And here's the Skylark, which is the top of the line. And these are actual colors of the car?
They're good representations of the car.
Okay. There's your Lido green.
Right.
Wow.
And this would be, and this would be to represent. Okay, this is your top color. This is your body color over here.
Okay.
So
So
people
body
could-
colors.
So
And
you
top
could-
colors.
And right, because that way, the only two-tone that they had in '54 was the top color, and the body was one other color, just like you see on my car. They didn't have that other color below the switchgear yet. They started that in '55.
And these are the actual these are the actual seat materials.
Yes, and
Go ahead, show me yours.
and the one for the Skylark that I have, these are the original materials here.
So let's go take a look at that, shall we?
And that's your blue, and that's your red throughout, and they do have the black and the yellow. Let's see, the black leather and cream leather, so it's T19 and B15.
Let's take a look at them.
That's B15 and that's B19 right here. Top and bottom.
Let's go take a look. So I like, now does the light show through here in the night?
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, I'm going to open this up.
So
Okay, give me just a second. Let me jump in. So we got Skylark here, and you can see the birds.
yeah, because that's what it was named after. There's birds named Skylark.
So this is quite the door. We've got leather up here. We've got this
It's all
tufted
leather.
material.
It's all leather.
But down here we've got a metal kind of mesh.
Yes, it is. And that was
All power.
all power, all hydroelectric. The front seat, the windows, the top, all hydroelectric. That's the tag for the parking brake.
We have the antenna. Is the antenna power?
Yes.
And that came with the car that way.
Yes, it did.
Wow. Let me just pull this back a little so people can take in that steering wheel.
You want me to put the top down?
We're going to definitely do that. But let me just jump in for a second and let people kind of take in your dashboard for just a moment.
And if you're restoring one of these cars, this is the hardest piece to find.
Is that right?
Yes, because there's so many that have special on them, or Century, or special or Century. There was only 836 of these cars built, so you better have this thing on there.
So to find Skylark is the magic potion. So is this your turn signal stalk?
Yes, it is.
And then this is your park reverse neutral drive, and I could see clearly through there with that
Right,
on there.
and there's actually a light that comes out that from underneath
to show that.
it at night.
So here's our fan. What's this pull switch for?
That pull switch is for the top.
For the top, okay. And is the top hydraulic?
Hydroelectric.
Hydroelectric.
So it's an electric motor that operates that operates the electric pump, hydro pump.
And I can see, just because the sun's hitting it, right, we can see kind of through the mesh there. Here.
That's a mesh for the radio. That's a speaker grill for the radio, basically.
Okay. I'm going to actually just try to do that to make that work. I don't know how well that is working, but that's
What's that?
that. Let me take a look at the top. We need to obviously take a look under the hood. Let's shut the trunk so we can pull the top down. And is this seat a power seat or?
Yes,
Okay.
four-way.
Let's, before we get to the four-way in there, we'll do that when we take the top down. Let's take a look under the hood.
Careful, dude.
Yeah, watch my head. I
Yeah,
got it.
it does
Watch your
tend
head
to
on
sink
that.
Those
Okay.
tend to sink. I've had people cut their heads at the shows too. I even cut myself a couple of times.
All right, I'll be careful.
Right back there, you can see the vacuum booster for the power brakes. With the two lines coming off it.
Okay.
With the two lines coming off it right here, that's the booster, the vacuum booster there.
I'm just getting all your little pieces here, and on this side.
And here's something that a lot of people don't
Now, is
realize.
this an oil bath air filter? Is that
Yes,
what
it
we're doing
is.
here?
Yes, it is.
Is that what you were going to say?
No, I was going to tell you about the lettering on this power steering reservoir.
Yes.
A lot of people are putting on the wrong decal. And it usually says, the ones that is wrong, it says fill with hydraulic fluid, okay?
Okay.
The correct one is to fill to level with the automatic fluid type A, transmission fluid type A. That's the correct one.
Okay.
All right. A lot of people that have these early power steering systems, they always go with the hydraulic one, and that's always wrong.
Okay. Let's start it up, shall we? Let's start it up, and then I want to get it to idle, and then we'll give it a little rev, and then we'll take the top down. Oh, is that smooth?
I've gone to car shows and I having the hood down, and what happened was that sometimes I would pull up and they say you can start your car. I said the car's running.
Come on, it is running. Wow,
I kid you
that
not.
is quiet. That's pretty cool. Let's give it a rev, shall we? Let's give it a little bit of a rev. Okay. One more time, Art. That's great. Wow, what a car. All right, let's take the, let's shut the hood. I want to get that whole vision of your top coming down. And we'll put this back window down. That's kind of cool. I specifically put it up because we wanted to see what that was going to look like. Let me see what you're doing. All right, go ahead. Can you put that back window down too, Art? Goes down that way. Very cool. Okay. Like folding a fine flag.
Yes, exactly. Like folding a flag. Can you tuck that in?
Sure, absolutely.
Now,
And then your boot.
like this.
Okay.
This goes inside. The other piece goes out.
Okay. I'll let you
Can you
in.
see the little flap there? No,
Yes.
on the inside. I got it.
Okay.
I'll get it for you.
Thanks.
This little flap here. Okay. There we go.
A man who's clearly done this once or twice. Do you drive it with the top up or down? Most of the time.
I'll go with the top up, And then on my way back, if I put it down at the show, I'll drive it home with the top down. Before I put it in the garage, I'll put the top back up.
To keep it tight.
To keep it nice and taut, yeah. That way it doesn't have any chance of really shrinking.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's actually best for the top to be like that.
While you're putting that together, I want to show people what it looks like with the top down.
Now I do have to say one thing.
Yeah.
That with the absence from my absence from the car show circuit for the past few years,
Yeah.
I started going to the car shows. And the first one I went to, I met a gentleman. He saw the car. We've been old friends for about 20 years, and he thought he would see me and my dad because we were always together.
Yeah.
And he went ahead, and when I told him about what happened, he went ahead and he says, you know, I can use some help working on a car of mine. Would you like to go ahead and help me build a chassis for me?
Isn't that great?
So my next project is going to be a '59 Eldorado Ritz.
That'll be sweet.
There'll be Persian sand.
And that'll be a good one.
That'll be a good one. And
What's the reaction? I want to stay on your car for a second. What's the reaction when you're driving this car?
I get so many horns, toot salutes, and I get a lot of thumbs up. People want to know what year it is.
Yeah.
And it's all positive, but I got to be careful with the drivers because sometimes they might tend to drift towards me.
So you have to be careful in the car. That's where the horn comes in. What's one of your favorite things about driving this car?
Well, you know what? I once got talked to a friend of mine, or a gentleman that I got to know as an acquaintance, and what happened was that every time he went out to drive the car, he got so much attention. He didn't like the attention.
Yeah.
And the one thing you gotta get used to is the attention when you go ahead and drive this car. So I would have to say I do like some of the attention that it does draw.
How's it ride?
Like a dream. Like a dream.
That's great.
I mean, the one thing I didn't replace on this car were the actual springs that came with the car.
So it floats.
So it just floats. It was because I replaced springs once before, and the car lost its original ride, and it was so hard. I wanted to keep that nice floating feeling, and the springs were good still. I saw no reason to go ahead and not keep them.
Art, step right alongside me. I want to show one more time the Skylark. And again, how many of these were originally produced?
836.
836. Art, if the people like what they see, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. You can see all the cars when we produce them. Art, thank you for being on My Car Story.
It was my pleasure.
How's it feel driving it?
Oh, I love it. I love it.